All right. It is snowing in Texas today. I can't believe it's snowing in Texas, but I have a snow day, and I'm so excited that I get to start my snow day with you and recording this amazing Becoming Light testimonial from Florida. So, without further ado, tell us, your name, where you're located, the name of your salon. Just give us some of the deets about you.
So my name is Christine Hersey. I live in Tampa, Florida, and my salon is called Lux Hair Studio, and it is really close to downtown Tampa. Um, and it's just a studio suite. And I've been here for not a year, but I've been in the business for 30 years.
Right.
So, but I've been on my own for probably half of the time that I've been a stylist. So I'd say, well, I've been in a suite for close to 15 years. I've been in different suites. This is my third one. Um, so.
Yeah. And talk to us a little bit about your niche because you were already in like holistic hair care and you had already been in the wellness sphere like before. So I just love to hear a little bit about maybe like your story behind that.
Yeah, I guess so. I came because really my, thing was I wanted to learn how to do ads and then but you're the third person the third program that I was looking at, and I didn't know that it was going to change my life so much. I didn't know that it was going to really show me my fear and stuff, and how I didn't know that it was going to reveal that for me, and
Oh, so
that
you
was
were just
where,
looking for like ads training. You're
yeah.
like you're marketing because that's right, because you had a marketing background and you had already purchased like other marketing programs in the past.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yes.
you're very business minded and savvy, obviously being in the industry for 30 years.
But I didn't yeah, so I that was, every program, it's just the program, it teaches you the stuff, but I didn't know that your program was going to really uncover some deeper things about myself that I didn't know, that I didn't know that the fear was really holding me back in so many areas of my life, whether it's afraid to talk to my clients about things about it. And that was where it showed up first. Like, I was really afraid to talk to my clients about energy. And then once I did, it was like, wow, it felt so good. And then I was excited to do it. And and then I did do the ad. Like, you do have an ad training, which is amazing, and it really brought me probably 4 to 5 clients, and at a very small price. Like, they followed it to the T, and it was just like, wow. And so that was really great. And Google wants to keep telling you to change stuff, and you're like, no, but clients are calling me, clients are reaching out. So it's that you really going, no, I'm not going to follow what they're telling me. I'm going to follow what's actually getting sitting in my chair. And people, and so
Yeah, that's great.
so it's a great training. I was like, wow.
Well, I love that you're already talking a little bit about the process. So, like, what intuitively motivated you then to like book the call and chat about becoming light or be interested in it? Was it really just like the marketing and ads training, which by the way excites me?
I think it was just, I knew I needed to make a change, but
Okay.
I didn't know what to do. And like I said, I had tried 2 other programs, and they really kind of interview you, and they didn't pick me because I wasn't a big salon. And so I was
Okay.
like, okay, so I still need the help though. And that was, I still needed help in figuring out the areas, and that wasn't uh what was the question again? I'm sorry.
It's okay. What like intuitively motivated you to like book the call and like and enroll in becoming light, and it sounds like you're already talking about it. You're just like, hey, like I had
I
a couple things, like it just maybe didn't work out, but like I know that I still wanted, I wanted to grow.
well, and I think it was just my inner self telling me, you need to do this, you need to book
Mm,
the call. And because it was just me, that need to push, that need to, you need to do this, you need to figure this out, because, or you need to book this call, and this could solve your problem. for what you need. Like it was just that push inside of me that I needed to do it.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I
it,
get that. I get that a lot of time on the calls. Like people will say like, "Oh, I've seen your ads or I've seen you on Instagram for like a year or two, and for whatever reason, like I just felt like the ping, and then like that's ultimately why I booked the call." So I love that you talked about that. Could you get could you get a little bit more specific about what you're saying that you needed to solve some problems. So what were some of the problems that you were experiencing? Obviously, you wanted to call in like dream clients.
call in dream clients, but also I think I was looking for what could make me different from all the
Mm,
other stylists out there. Like
yeah,
I'm in a salon suite and looking at everyone like, okay, well, what do I have to offer that's different than they do? We all do great hair,
sure.
but what is it that about my experience that could make it so much more amazing that my clients are like, damn, she's really good. I can't change. I have to keep going to her. That was the experience that I was looking for. And I think now I've got it
Mhm.
because when they come in, it's and it keeps changing. Like I keep adding stuff or,
Yeah, of
um,
course.
I'll like, I've just added the the forks. I forgot the name of
The
them.
tuning forks?
The forks. I've just
Yeah.
added tuning forks to the experience. And like I'll start them in the very beginning to really kind of get the person in tune really fast. Like they've been talking, they're looking at their phone, and then they lay back, we're watching, and but they're still talking and they're not relaxing. So I add, I'll do something, I'll add stuff in it to like try to get them there sooner and faster so that they can really enjoy the experience even more. But I'm always changing things and adding things. And then sometimes I'll get the ping, don't change it, because get good at what you're doing. You don't
Mhm.
have to keep changing it. And that was one of the I don't, it's the modified mind align. I was going to try a different one on my client, and and I got that ping. No, just keep doing the same thing. You don't have to keep changing things and keep doing this. So I listen to that when I get that
Mhm.
and follow my instinct of, okay, listen to yourself. And that way, um, it's telling you, it's guiding you, and you need to listen. And so
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about the overall process of your time. I mean, because you kind of led like right in the call, like you talked about, I didn't know I was going to get like inner growth, or I didn't, or I got to see pieces of myself that I didn't even know I was going to look at. So, I'd love to hear a little bit more about the process.
I guess what really was helpful to me was the crystal healing. That was really, and I share sometimes with my clients about the crystal healing that I do to myself.
Mhm.
That I'm like, okay, well, I can't do this to myself, what I'm giving you, but this is what I do for myself. And it really, really it was really changing, life changing. The first time I did it, I was, really brought up a lot of things that I needed to deal with. And that was, and I mean, I didn't think a hair program was going to do any of this.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to just be hair. And so that was something and that experience that I had that day really helped me going forward, I think, with everything. And I keep doing it. And I
Mhm.
think it keeps helping me more and more.
Yeah.
And just, you know, keep keep doing things and not not listen to the fear that would creep up in a lot of things, like, no, you don't need to do this, why are you doing this? And
Mhm.
so not listen to the fear and just keep moving forward with, making sure that, uh doing the morning and the evening rituals, and
Yeah.
that way I'm ready for my clients and showing up. Um and sometimes I feel off, and and I try to get there, and I know that sometimes, you're just off, you're not 100%
Uh,
every moment of the day, or every single day, um yeah, all the clients that I've done it on, they love it, they feel amazing when they leave, and they want it every time they come.
That's amazing. I love that for you. And I love that you're talking about some of the intangible stuff because I think that you can get a lot of information. Like you know this from being in the industry
Mhm.
for so long. I mean, there's so much information, there's so many educators, there's so many classes, there's always a way to grow. Um, but there's not always the wisdom, right? Or like that deeper layer of like understanding and wisdom. And it sounds like that's maybe something that has, dropped in even through like a crystal
Mhm.
healing practice. I would love to hear from you. Can you talk to me about like the support, the accountability, the calls, the coaching? Like, how did that impact you?
So the monthly coaching call, really, I put it in my calendar because I feel
You're
like,
organized.
well, the thing is that in doing the beginning of the program, the money leaks and energy leaks, I felt like when you couldn't make it to a call, that was an energy leak. That you
Yeah.
made this commitment to yourself, you made this commitment to you that you were going to be there, and so I needed to be there. Now, so there's sometimes I couldn't be there because we're in Florida, we had 2 hurricanes this year
Yes.
and everything. So but for the most part, I always try to make the call because I felt like there was so much impactful information, and I wanted to get it firsthand. I didn't want to have to go back and listen to the replay because I don't feel like I get the information as well in that way. I feel
I'm
like
the
I
same
get it
way.
better in the moment that it's happening. Um, and if I wanted to ask a question, I can't ask it in a replay.
Mhm.
So just being there, I think, was really that makes you that helps with your energy leaks, because the more you're not keeping a commitment to yourself, that's in all the money stuff that I did in your program, that was the one thing that really resonated, is in looking for the leaks in the money. Because if the money is, if you're doing stuff, you're making commitments but you're breaking them all the time, then nothing's going to work. You've really got to just make a point to, okay, I'm going to be there at this time every week, and I'm not going to miss. I think it's just makes everything much better than missing and then going, oh, I need to do the replay, and well, yeah. So
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, I remember our discovery call and it was strategic and tactical. And I mean this in a very good way. Like you were somebody who just didn't come off as very woo-woo, right? Like you're not like, woo, you were like, yeah, like, this is the growth that I'm looking to call in for this year. Like you were very organized and you had a clear idea of what you desired in terms of, those tangible results in your business. And so to your credit, though, it sounds like you were able to tie together how showing up to the calls was actually going to help you to drop down into what you wanted to call in for your business, like, financially, as well as like the clients, all of that as well. So,
Oh, absolutely. I think the calls were so important. And anytime I could get like something, or like if there was something in the group that needed to be printed, I printed it out. Anything that, like, because I didn't want to miss anything.
mhm,
And I think it's all important in order to have a strong result and get where you want to be. I think you just have to go at it really strong as you can,
yeah.
uh, and show up and ask questions. And and sometimes I would think, okay, what question am I going to ask this week, and I would start by Friday like thinking about my question. And and I still do it, like I'm still thinking about the questions. But it really, that was really super helpful too, because it made me think more than you're just showing up to the program. Nobody else does that. And
Mhm.
so when you're just showing up to the program, I don't think you take in the information as
You don't.
well, because you're not being a part of the call. You're just showing up for it. But when you have to answer a question, and you have to figure out what it is, and then that makes you think a lot more. And actually, you know I think it helps you so much better to uh because you don't want just a simple question. You want it kind of a little bit more depth.
Mhm.
And then I'm the type of person that I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it half-ass. I want to do it really.
You want
I
to do
want
a
to do
whole ass.
and a good job. And just like in doing hair, but
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't want to just do okay. I want it to be like, okay, wow, that was a great question. Yeah. So that was what the results I always wanted that you to think of me. So
Yeah, but I also think that whenever you asked a question, it benefited everybody in the group because
yeah,
somebody else was thinking about it.
yes, yes. Cause I think some of the other people, we were all on the same page where we were at and stuff like that. And,
Mhm.
so we would kind of feed off each other. And I think that's good because you don't know where we're at. So by us asking the questions, it gives you get to see where we're kind of at in the program, and what we're thinking.
Yeah. I remembered being really excited when I watched you go through the ads training because, and this is not, all across our industry, but I will say for, some people in our industry, we can have this aversion to tech. Or, just in general, there's like some sort of limiting belief, like I can't do this, like I just, or maybe you just don't want to do it because you'd rather
Mhm.
focus on the creativity and the healing. I mean, that's definitely like where I shine without having to like think too hard. And so it made me very happy to hear that, you followed like the step-by-step training and then it very quickly yielded results. And that really warms my heart because I want to shed a light of hope to others that like, yes, you can do this and like you
Oh,
don't,
absolutely.
yeah. Yeah, which was great. And so I was very proud of you and I was really proud of you for sharing that with the group too, because I think that whenever you just, that when you can celebrate your wins, however seemingly small you think that they are, but celebrating your wins inspires other people that they can do it too. And it's also
Mhm.
allows you to have positive ego, instead of being like, oh, I can't share about that because it's bragging, or what if it makes somebody feel bad? Like it was really awesome.
Oh,
So
good, good. And I
yeah,
hope it helps some people to realize. And that was just that letting go of that mind, letting go of that idea that Google wants you to do it this way. But,
yes.
and
Yeah,
then,
the
but it's
training.
like, I'm seeing the results in my chair.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So it's like, okay, let go of that. And that was in that first crystal healing, that was a lot of it was letting go of things for me. It was letting go of this, letting go of that. And maybe that was why in that, just starting to have that mindset of letting go of things and not hold on to the way that it should be, like the way people actually think, oh well, it's got to be this, or oh, you got to have a 90% whatever
Optimization.
yeah. And I'm like, why do I have to have a 90% optimization score? Why do I need to change this when the people are calling me and sitting in my chair?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so,
That's why the
and
training was really helpful as opposed to just
yeah,
like, YouTubing it, for example.
yeah. And I actually did do the YouTube, and I did that. And your training was so much easier. And
Mhm.
I mean, probably watched it 30 times, I will tell you,
Yeah, I
because
mean, when I was first launching ads 6 years ago, I watched my coach's training easily 30 times.
yeah,
Pause, do the thing,
yeah,
play, pause, do the thing. Like that's what I had to do. But it
yeah.
worked.
And you set up two screens so you could do what it is you want on the big screen while you're watching the little screen, and you're just going back and forth. And so tech doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me. I think it's because my son he's going to be a computer engineer and my husband's an electrical engineer. So they'll
Great.
show me. I always have, like, they can show me stuff, but I do like to figure it out on my own
Yeah,
because I don't want to always be having to ask them how to do something. And my husband showed me copy and paste, and it like changed my life.
totally. I remember learning that.
Hairstylists, how do we know copy paste? We don't work on a computer. So once I learned that, I was like, oh my gosh, it completely changed my life. So I'm always like, when I learn something, I know it's going to make it easier. It's going to make my life easier. It's not going to make it harder.
Mhm.
And when I and if I forget how to do it, I can ask them how to, hey, how do you do this? Or you or I watch the trainings, your trainings and stuff. And
Mhm.
which actually now I'm going to go back through all of them again, just because you miss stuff, and I think it's good to go back through and keep listening and refreshing, because you don't take in every single moment when you first listen to it. So
No, no.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to hear big picture. How did this affect, life as a whole?
Life as a whole, I do feel like getting rid of the fear is
Mhm.
really helpful, and has been really great, because now I'm not afraid to take that step in different things, and maybe do a model call, or do,
Yeah.
to really start going in and changing my website more. And I'm not afraid to do all of those things now. And I'm not afraid to have the price increase,
Yeah.
because it's part of it. And if people fall off, it's okay. You have to let them go, so that you can call in the new clients that are willing to pay the price. And it's not like I'm charging $500,
Mhm.
for one
Yeah.
service. But then now I'm also bringing in some new services, and I'm not afraid to do it, and everything. So, uh, yeah, so the big picture, I think this next, and I also have been looking for a new space, that I think I do it unconsciously, looking for a new space, not so that I could have a salon where I have other people working with me, maybe one other person, but just a place where you walk in and it just feels very serene, and it's very calming. And I've been on the lookout for that place. So it'll be interesting by next year to see where I'm at, because that is something that, now I'm like, I want people to want my clients to walk in and just have that experience where it's calm, it's very relaxing. They
Yeah.
don't feel, and it starts in the parking lot.
Oh, you talked
It
about work
starts
and you were like, I want the parking to be better.
and the parking here is not so great. And so that's where I think it starts. And they walk in, the parking, it feels easy, and 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 just, it's just a nice relaxing experience from beginning to end. So I think that is the big picture. That's the big direction where I think I want to go, is because I keep looking, and I can't shake it. I keep looking for the space, and I'll know it when I find it. I
Yeah.
just haven't found it yet. Or there is a place I see, but it's not, they don't have, I would like to buy a building if I can. That
Mhm.
way I'm not dealing with the whole lease issue.
Sure.
So yeah, so I do think that's my big picture going forward, and really, and then I could set myself up even more for, like, if I wanted to have a little area to do like meditations and stuff like that. You bring people in
Yeah.
and do stuff like that, but I'm not set up like that at all right now. But that's like kind of like what I keep feeling and what I keep seeing, that
Yeah. You
feels
have that
really,
vision for it.
really, yeah, keeps feeling really, uh there's actually someone I follow on Instagram, and she has the space
Mhm.
that I think that's where I'm getting I'm drawn to her space.
Yeah.
And so so I think that's what I'm looking for, something like that for
Mm.
my clients and for me, because then I get to give that, and it's enjoyable. And I mean, who wants to come to work and it feels happy, and it feels, good? And, if there are unhappy moments, of course, but if you can make everything as, easy and relaxing as possible for people, then yes, that's I think what the direction I'm going, though.
That's awesome. Well, real quick, how can people connect with you if they want to learn more about you?
I'm at Lux Hair Studio in Tampa, Florida. So it would come up, let me look up on Instagram. I think it's Lux Hair Studio Tampa. Christine Hersey, Tampa hairstylist.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I
You're
love it.
welcome.
I can't wait to see what the rest of this year brings for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.